This is the Barbados Today morning news for Thursday, September 26. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Claire Williams. Businesses upwind of 2 schools in St. Thomas have refuted suggestions that their operations are contributing to the unhealthy environment which has had to be endured by students and teachers. Some officials at the Kindergarten Industrial Estate, a stone's throw away from the Sharon Primary School and Maria Holder Nursery, said they are clueless about where the harmful pollutants are coming from. For months, teachers and students have been fainting, vomiting, and experiencing dizziness and cramps. This has forced the extended closure of the schools 3 weeks into the school year and raised the ire of those affected. And while the Ministry of Health and Wellness has identified wrongdoing by businesses months ago, they have been cleared of malpractice, and the blame for the most recent problems was transferred to a residential operation nearby. As teachers' unions and furious parents demand written proof of the ministry's findings, some businesses have steered clear of the media attention, while others have come forward to clear their names. Ryan Royer, director of Excel Printing Services and Signs, told Barbados Today that officials visited him some months ago, but his business had taken steps to protect the public from the impacts of daily operations. John Francis, a director at Williams Industries, told Barbados Today the company was concerned about the challenges being faced by the students in the community. However, he was adamant that environmental officials have never approached the business with concerns about its operations. One charity is reporting some success in addressing the shortage of specialized healthcare providers for children with blood disorders in Barbados and the Caribbean. On Wednesday, officials of the Canada-based Sick Kids Foundation gave an update on the work being done in the region. And its partner, CIBC First Caribbean International Bank, pledged further funding to the cause. Chief of Infectious Diseases at Sick Kids, Dr. Upton Allen, outlined some of the achievements since the SCI was introduced 6 years ago.
We've improved access to services for children in the Caribbean with cancers and serious blood disorders. We've increased the capacity of Caribbean partners to provide timely, accurate diagnosis and high-quality follow-up care. We sought to strengthen the infrastructure that enhances the capacity to care for children with cancers and serious blood disorders, providing numerous co-benefits to other users of health systems in the region through, for example, enhanced laboratory services.
Dr. Chantel Brown-Farmer is a pediatric hematologist-oncologist at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. She has benefited from training at the SCI, and she's concerned about some limitations in the healthcare system, which she says continues to put children at risk.
In the Caribbean, children with cancer and blood disorders are at a particular disadvantage because of limited access to healthcare, limited resources, limited professionals, and just a shortage of frontline healthcare providers in general. And so this is why the Sick Kids Caribbean initiative is just so crucial to the advancement of care for these children in the Caribbean. And so I am immensely proud to be one of the fellows that has been referenced so far as having benefited from the support of the Sick Kids Caribbean initiative in terms of pursuing training in pediatric hematology and oncology. It wasn't that much of a big decision for me because I just knew what the impact would be, and I was happy to make that commitment.
Management of Lucky Horseshoe says an ongoing restructuring program is the reason behind the recent closure of its city center location 2 years after it opened. The staff members who were employed there have been transferred to other locations in Bagatelle, St. Thomas, Warrens, St. Michael, and Worthing in Christchurch. Director Laura Galt told Barbados Today the closure of the city centre site formed part of the company's ongoing restructuring, which began almost a year ago. She describes the business environment as very slow right now, but says she is hoping for a turnaround in fortunes. The Lucky Horseshoe Salon and Steakhouse opened in 1998, and towards the end of last year, the company laid off a number of employees after some workers' hours were slashed to as low as 27 per week over 4 days.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. In news from the region, Guyanese will go to the polls on March 2nd next year to elect a new government. President David Granger made the announcement last night in an address to the nation. The announcement follows several calls for the government to set a date for the poll, which was made necessary after the ruling coalition, a partnership for national unity, lost a no-confidence motion last December.
The extension of a period beyond 3 months for the holding of an election is related to the Elections Commission's readiness to hold elections. The government of Guyana must, as a consequence, return to the National Assembly to request an extension. The National Assembly reconvenes on the 10th of October 2019. The President is required to both dissolve Parliament as provided for in the Constitution and the 10 regional democratic councils also as provided for in the Constitution.
And on the international scene, a new United Nations report warns that climate change is devastating the seas and frozen regions as never before. The UN panel of scientists says the waters are rising, the ice is melting, and species are moving habitat due to human activities. And the loss of permanently frozen lands threatens to unleash even more carbon, hastening the decline. The warnings are contained in the third in the series of special reports produced by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change over the past 12 months. But there is some guarded hope that the worst impacts can be avoided with deep and immediate cuts to carbon emissions. That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website www.barbadostoday.bb. You can subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good morning.